to another episode of the Not For Nothing podcast. I am Natasha, one of your co-hosts. You may know me on the internet as Pussyweed.
And I'm Sarah El-Sayed. You might know me online as How Can I Help You? And today we have some funny things to talk to you about, coming live from New York.
Yeah, I feel like we've been having a lot of conversations around appropriate forms of communication.
Yeah.
And we've established that the main one that is unacceptable is voice notes.
I put out a PSA. I feel like maybe I put this PSA out every 6 months or so for the new followers, the new people who are maybe texting me in a business setting. And you're not allowed to send me the rules are quite simple. You cannot send me a voice note, and I can send you any amount and quantity of voice note that I want.
Yeah, because I was going to say, you hold a pretty hot take on voice notes, yet on our way here, you left me one. So I'm getting a little mixed signals here. What's up?
There was a logistic reason for that. I would say that voice note that I sent you was so that I could remember something.
Okay.
You know, so I could remember to talk to you about it. I didn't necessarily need you to listen to it.
Got it.
You know? And it was like a logistics thing. Like, I had too many bags in my hand. I couldn't type it out.
So that's the thing. I was never a voice notes girl while I lived here.
Mm-hmm.
But in LA, now that I'm driving, and you should never text and drive. And honestly, my life is not that interesting. Like, there's no text that's ever that emergent that I need to answer right
all
away.
of my texts to you are pretty urgent.
No, but like I used to live.
They require your immediate attention.
I used to live like a different life, but it was mostly working from home, where like, you know, you're like millions of follower pages, you need to like be online at all times. But now I'm like in my healing era doing absolutely nothing. Yeah. I could pull over and wait, but I have been doing a few more voice notes.
Yeah, and like I think the amount of urgency, like the topic has a lot to do with it. Like, if it's my friend sitting in their car leaving me a voice note about a boy, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, I don't want it to be some like long ramble about. No. I also don't like when you like flip up the conversation like format. Like, if we're texting and then suddenly we're in these like heart-to-heart voice notes, like, just call me.
One of the worst things someone can do as a voice note is talk to you on the voice note about their schedule. I am going to be here from this date to this date, but on Saturday I can't meet up because I have this. Baby, I can barely keep my own schedule in my head. I didn't hear what you were saying. I'm not replaying it or rewinding it. I heard you could rewind now, which does make a big difference.
Well, then there's also that thing where, I don't know if your phone does this, but it's like when I lift it, it pauses, and then, you know, it's like you get a text and it pauses.
Oh.
And just like...
Oh, the lifting and the pausing? I have a story for you about this.
The lifting and the pausing. There was the bend and snap. Now there's the lift and pause.
The lift and pause. I'm telling you, I think like the shortcuts that Apple does, like none of the shortcuts should be automatically installed on your phone because they cause problems. Like, they're problematic. And I'm going to tell you exactly why.
Okay, what's up?
For those who don't know, I was in a sorority.
Me too.
Yeah. Greek life girlies. Well, Greek life rejects, I think.
Yeah. Like, I don't think they were happy with my presence.
It's pretty remarkable that we did the Greek life thing. We're not stereotypical girlies. But then again, I don't know about you, but my organization was definitely not the typical sorority. We were a little bit off.
Yeah, no, mine was like pretty classic.
Oh, really?
Like, I was definitely...
We were a bit culty, I would say. Because I was in a local org. I will say that too. So being in a local org is like having traditions literally passed down from group to group without like the expansion. I feel like Greek life expands like religion. Like, they're popping up all over the place. Yeah, but like, my org never left that campus. My org never left that campus. I think we're coming up on soon it's going to be 90 years.
Of just your school.
Of just that school.
Yeah, no, mine was like...
That's culty, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's my turn to be the cult leader at this point.
Okay.
So I'm pledge master, or that's what we used to call it.
Oh, you were like that level of involved.
Oh, yeah, I was vice president. I was pledge master. I was fundraising chair.
Okay.
I ran events. If there's one thing I'm going to do, it's overcommit.
Got it.
Definitely. Yeah. When I'm in something, I'm in it deep. deep. So, I'm Pledge Master, which is quite the title. And, you know, there's like secrets and traditions and things that need to be held sacred in an organization that's been around, that, you know, older than, you know, some of our oldest living grandparents. Like, this place has seen generations of women, so you do have to hold something sacred. So it's my responsibility to bring the traditions on to the next class of girls. There was great responsibility within this role also at the school. They make you sign paperwork, and they basically, like, if you haze, you can go to jail.
Yeah, which, like, makes sense.
Makes sense. So one fateful day, about a week into the pledge process, I get a phone call from the school, and they say, it's time to halt your pledge process. So my stomach is in my butt. Like, I'm really just like, I'm done. God only knows what's going on. What did we do wrong?
Yeah, what did you do?
I don't know if I'm at liberty to say that, but the point here is that voice notes got me in a buttload of trouble, because this was the time. I think I had maybe an iPhone 5.
I was going to say, you were already, I think I was BlackBerry in college.
Really? I never had a BlackBerry in my life, or a Sidekick.
Never Sidekick, but I was big on the BlackBerry.
I really was like a loser for that, for not having either of those phones. It was like whack, but I had no
what's
job,
your BBM?
so I had no choice. I was a child. So I have an iPhone 5 in college, and on the iPhone, it was this thing where you would lift the phone up, and if you spoke into it, like if you had a text message open, and you spoke into your phone, and you put it down, it would auto send a voice note.
What?
Yep. Like, there was no button pressing. I didn't ever select voice note.
What did you say?
So here I am.
Yeah.
One of the beautiful, sweet alumni, probably between 60 and 70 years old at the time, texts me. I'm in college. I'm like 21-year-old punk.
Yeah.
She's like, I heard the pledge process was halted. Please, at the time, our advisor was a rabbi. She was like, contact the rabbi and tell him.
Wait.
Yeah.
The advisor to your sorority.
To my sorority that wasn't a Jewish sorority.
Was a rabbi?
It was a rabbi. He was great. He was really sweet.
It was a man?
It was a man.
Okay. So many questions.
God bless Rabbi Rabinowitz.
Just different God.
Yeah.
Blessing.
He was great. Oh, yeah. G-D.
It's like you're blessing a different God.
Well, anyway, he was awesome. So she's like, contact him and let me know if everything is okay. And in her text message, she had said the word okay like 5 times. So I'm in a stinky ass mood. I'm in a stinky mood. I think that I'm going to be like my college career. I'm in like I think I'm in the last semester of college. I'm like, it's over. I'm not going to get a job. This is going to be on my record. I'm going to get arrested for God knows what allegations are coming my way. So there's people in my room, in my sorority, and I'm talking to them about what just happened. I'm like, oh, this beautiful alum is texting me, and she tells me, contact the rabbi, okay? And I'm very, very, I talk with my hands a lot.
Yeah.
And as expressive as I am, I picked up my phone as I'm telling the story. I'm like, she calls me and she tells me X, Y, and Z. And I put the phone down as I continue the story, and I hear,
no.
Sent as a voice note. So it sent me making fun of this woman to the woman.
That's a really important lesson in not being an asshole.
Oh, just wait. It gets so much better. So I still don't even realize what's happening. And she responds and she goes, LOL, I hear this other girl in my sorority in the background. So she's taking it lighthearted. I'm like, haha, we're trying to make light of it. You know, I'm like playing it off like kind of like, okay, she knows what happened. I know what happened. It's all good. We're moving past it. And then I did it again. Yep, no. I did it again to the same woman in the same chat. Because I didn't know the reason that it happened. I had no idea why it happened. I'm still emoting with my hands.
So this woman is just getting like...
She's getting bullied by me. First of all, we get accused collectively as a unit, as Pledge for bullying, essentially. And then I go ahead and bully a 60 to 70-year-old woman who's an alumna of my sorority, a sweet angel that only wants the best for us. I'm not even bullying her. I'm just being a dick because I'm stressed out. So a week passes.
Damn.
A week passes.
I'm like sweating for you.
You
right
should
now.
be sweating. I'm like shaking telling the story.
I'm, like, excessively sweating already.
A week passes. I'm in this little study hall. I'm just there working. My little walks in. She's with like some kid in another fraternity. A pie, actually.
You're sure your sorority's not Jewish?
My sorority's not Jewish, but we do love Jewish people. And it was on Long Island, so. It's kind of Jewish, inherently. So he walks in, she walks in, and she's like, oh my God, please tell him the story of what happened. I did it a third time. I did it a third time to this woman. That's all. That's all I have to say. Because I'm going back to the text thread to recall what happened. And I did it again. And I just was like, you know what? I need to get rid of my phone. I just need to not be here anymore. And I bowed out. At the end of the semester, I was like, farewell. By the way, our pledge process continued. Everybody was fine. Everybody was safe. We're all good.
Wow.
But that's a lesson.
That's
So I have a valid reason for hating voice notes.
Have you spoken to her recently?
I've never spoken to her again. You want me to show my face to the woman who I bullied 3 times to her face?
To apologize.
I'm basically blackmailing her. Like, I'm literally sending her.
Do you want to take this moment to make amends?
If you're listening to this right now, God bless you. You're an angel. You meant no harm.
And
Nothing
she's
but love.
changed.
I'm changed. This is why I don't use voice notes.
And she now knows better to not be mean.
Yeah, I don't know if I was being mean. I don't want that to get misconstrued. Because I was never being mean. I was irritated audibly with the situation.
I don't think you're allowed to be the one to decide if it was mean or not.
True. I'm sorry.
All that to say, we're very sorry wherever you are.
I'm holding accountability here. I am sorry.
Yeah. As you say sorry to your sorority, I still wait for them to say it. One day.
Good times.
But yeah, it was a weird world.
It was different. It was a different time.
You have like post voice note traumatic disorder.
I do. It's CPTSD for sure.
That is absolutely terrifying. Yeah. I don't have any bad voice note situations.
Well, now everyone knows. This is my 6-month PSA. Don't send me a goddamn voice note. Ever. In your life.
My favorite voice note that I've ever received is like the nerdiest thing my family does.
And what's that?
So we were talking about this the other day, but all the women in my family, we have the same gynecologist. And this woman also delivered me and my sister. And so we've been going to see her for like forever. But she has the same automated like voicemail that like gets sent out like the day before your appointment, like since ever. And it's like the most irritating robotic voice. But my dad just loves imitating it.
Is it her voice?
No, it's like a random computer generated. It's like, hello, this is Dr. blah, blah, blah's office. This is to remind you. And so my dad used to like send me him like imitating it, and then my sister will also send me voice notes of like her imitating it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
I actually love that.
It's like a funny. And so one time my mom actually like recorded it. I didn't even know she knew technologically how to like record something and like send it to me.
Was it the voice note feature?
Yeah, maybe. But that's like our pretty cute. That's the only time I've ever experienced voice notes with my family.
That's cute.
And
that's
it's
very
so
cute.
random because this woman has had the same automated like confirmation probably for 40 years now.
That's actually nuts. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
That means she still has a house phone basically that's been calling, or it's a fax machine. Like, I don't even know.
Yeah, like I don't even know how.
Works.
I don't even. It's crazy, and it's just hilarious, and
that's wild.
Yeah, that's
actually nuts.
You know,
I can't believe you have the same gyno as everybody in your family.
Yeah, I mean, not my dad, but yeah, everybody else in my family, yes.
Technically, it's his too.
I mean, he also knows her.
He's a part of this.
Yeah. But yeah, we do. And
That's crazy. I think I would feel too awkward for that. So when I was young, my mom's gyno, the one who delivered me, his wife was my pediatrician. So there was some family balance there, but she, you know, retired.
I think that
he did too.
Yeah, my pediatrician passed away actually like 2 years ago. So sad. I was still seeing him.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm kidding.
I was seeing a pediatrician until way too late.
Yeah, until I think I was 21, and then he was like, I literally, like, don't want to see you anymore. Like,
no, it was, like, later for me.
He was like, you're like making 23. People uncomfortable in the waiting room. Like, please
I'm, like, in
vaping.
college, they're, like, looking for my baby. They're like, where's your kid? I'm like, oh, no.
It's for me.
I think it's strep.
Mono.
Literally me.
But, yeah, I think it would be weird, but I think also that I'm from a family of doctors that like medicine and like going to the doctor is just like such a normalized conversation all the time that it's like not weird. And also she would never discuss anything.
Of course. I'm not thinking she's violating HIPAA
Yeah,
laws.
no, she has a daughter who's like my age or my sister's age. So I feel like that's also really comforting because she'll like give me advice like, oh yeah, I've like, you know, like trends in birth control, and she'll be like, my daughter tried it and like broke out, like I don't think you should take it.
Love that.
You know, I'm like, I kind of am comforted at the idea that you like actually know my mom, because sometimes you like need a mom in the room to make these decisions.
Oh yeah,
like getting an IUD is traumatic. Like I wish my mom was there to be like, don't do it.
Yeah, haven't done it.
I would not recommend it. I got it removed because it was like the worst experience of my life, and it's honestly so painful. And now I'm seeing all these like stuff on like TikTok and whatever where they talk about how they're like putting you under anesthesia and like giving you all these like pain medication.
They're putting you under anesthesia for an IUD.
And I'm like, what the fuck?
I think they were supposed to always though.
Like that was just yanked out of me.
That's disturbing.
Like and then this is like TMI, but like, so you're like locally numb, and so you're just like pissing on yourself, and there's like blood everywhere.
Really?
For, like, I had to wear like almost a diaper kind of for like the first like night when it's done.
That's
like
so
it's
scary.
so painful.
That's really scary.
And so I'm like comforted at the fact that, you know, I know her in that way also, but yeah, it was definitely like those first times you go when you're like 16 and you're like answering dicer questions.
Yeah.
Well, that's like just one phase of your life, you know. Now I'm just like, I'm an adult, my mom's an adult, my sister's an adult.
Yeah.
Like we're all open about life.
Yeah, I need to, well, as everybody knows, I don't have health insurance, so
we gotta work on that.
My situation's a little bit different. I don't like have any primary care physician at all.
Oh,
but, like,
yeah.
It's I just panic. It's like if something goes wrong, I like call everybody has a family member in medicine, and I'm like, who can give me my eczema cream? Who can you know, fill me in for a quick appointment? And I do feel blessed to be aging to the point where some of my friends are becoming doctors now.
That's the dream.
So I'm like really praying that I get a good network of doctors around me that are going to keep me alive at least
and
a little bit longer.
Healthy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mostly use her as my primary care, which like also drives her nuts.
Oh, wow.
She's like, you need another doctor other than me.
She's like, I am your gyno. I am not going to give you an antibiotic for your lungs.
But I'm like, but your family.
Essentially, yeah. If you've seen that much of me and my family, you're in.
You're in.
You're in.
That's why it's hilarious.
She brought you into this world. She can take you out.
And that's why I'm always just like, this is nuts. You knew me before I knew me.
Literally. That's so true. Wow, that's so nuts. It's also, like, I'm sorry, this is so psychotic. You know how they say, like, in your grandmother are the eggs that your mom as a baby inside the womb would use to conceive you?
What?
So think about it. When you're in, like, let's say I'm your grandmother. Crazy. I'm pregnant with your mom.
Okay.
And as your mom is forming inside of me, it's growing all of the parts of a human, including the eggs that will ultimately be what conceive you.
I don't think you're making eggs as a baby.
No, you are. Your eggs are never gone. You have them, I think, since birth.
I think you develop, you like grow them with puberty.
Them. I don't think so. I think they start falling in puberty.
Fact check.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, I'm not going to fact check. I'm going to ask.
Ask the audience.
I'm going to ask Paula tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Let her know.
I'm going to see her tomorrow. So
she's family.
I'll be like, hey, on the podcast, I was asking this question. Like, does the grandma...
But isn't that nuts that technically she can know generations in the future that you haven't even considered yet? Crazy. Goes deep.
I mean, what if these generations? What generations?
You're like, the generation's stopping. You're like, I'm taking it into my own hands. It stops here. Wow, so Paula saw the end of an era.
Yeah. The weird stops here. No one wants my genes.
Okay. I have a question.
Yeah.
Are you a unlock the phone with your face girly?
Depends.
Oh, so you have the option that it's there.
Yeah.
I don't.
You took off the Face ID?
Yeah, I did. And I don't know when I did it, but it hasn't been a thing for a long time. I'm like terrified of AI. For someone who has her face plastered all over the internet, you'd think I'd be a little less scared, but
yeah, why are you?
I'm not into it.
I have it. I think it's like, it's just practical.
I'm not into it. I do my phone password, but my phone password is so stupid. What's your phone password?
Wait, do you have 4 or 6 digits?
6, but not.
But they're all the same.
Not because I want 6 digits. I think they forced me.
You can change it. I'm back to 4.
I want back to 4.
I'm on 4.
If I could do 2, I'd do 2.
It's my birthday.
If it could be 1 digit, I think I'd do it. But I wouldn't make that 1 digit my face.
I have nothing to hide on my phone.
Oh, it's not about having something to hide. My phone password, in case anybody wants to know it, it's 555555. Why 5? Because it's the center where my thumb naturally falls. It's the
with the
laziest.
Nails, you can't even. You're like.
It's the laziest phone password in the world, and I love when I meet someone who has the same one.
Talking to Sarah on the phone is like.
And
I don't even have nails. So
I don't even know that. I don't even know that that's what other people's experience are.
It's so funny.
Until they tell me, and then I still think I'm getting away with it.
Robert can know if I'm on the phone with you because he's just hearing the like clickety clackety.
That's actually pathetic.
It was so funny when you were in LA and I got like the press-on nails and I had like long nails for the first time and I felt like Sarah.
Okay, you feel me.
It was so funny. I couldn't type for shit. Like I don't know how you get anything done.
I do it at everybody else's disposal.
Your finger's just like fully displaced. I couldn't even get my card out of the parking.
I have arthritis. Like, it's not good. The weed is for the inflammation.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, but that's a valid problem. Not being able to grab a card out. People carry tweezers.
I know. So I don't think I could be a long nail girly. I did it for 2 weeks. It was really fun. I felt really hot, but
they weren't long. Let's go back really quick.
They weren't
long nails. It was like just off the tip of her finger, like just barely seeing the light of day. Try it again.
It was so long.
I've been getting like acrylics since I was like a late teen, like maybe like 15, 16. And that's not late teen. I guess that's early teens. And then
it's just teens.
Yeah, it's just teens.
Being a teenager.
Teenagers. Because like my parents didn't want me to get acrylics before that, and then I think it was like because they didn't want. My dad also, when I was young, didn't want me to paint my nails certain colors.
Yeah, me neither. I
couldn't
only
paint
do
black. I couldn't paint red.
Yeah, I could only do like cute pinks or like a fun
Beige.
color.
Oh no.
It could be like an absolute like random color, but it definitely couldn't be black because they were like so scared I would be emo, and I was like.
You have no idea the ride you're in for.
Emo. Like, it's not about what you wear. It's about how hard you hurt.
It's very true.
You know,
it's like we should get bumper stickers of that instead of like who rescued who.
Yeah, like I wear red, but like I cry myself to sleep.
It's about how hard you hurt.
Yeah. But now I only do my nails black. But right now I'm recovering from my long nail.
You're raw dogging it. Yeah.
I had to, because the long nails. I was so nervous that my parents would see them.
Are you serious? You're more nervous about that than them seeing it black?
Just because they would be making jokes all the time.
And that's so crazy. I'm going to reiterate. They were not long. They were not long.
So I ripped them all off before I left LA, and now there's like no more nail left.
Oh, I feel bad. I have a question, you know, like as an elder emo, which I do think you identify as, you know, I'm a somewhere in between punk and goth as an adult. Is there anything that you're holding on to in your physical identity that like you're afraid to let go of because you're afraid people won't notice that you are alt?
That's hilarious. Absolutely.
And what are they?
So the black nails, obviously.
Yeah.
And then my rook piercing.
Yes.
I feel like that's my most like, oh.
I'm an edgelord.
Like she's kind of weird.
Right.
Like
she's got something.
Like she looks like, we talk about this a lot, but like, as I feel like I normally have very curly hair, but like when I blow dry it and like straighten it and the way I dress, I kind of give off this like potentially could be Republican vibe.
Oh yeah, you could go Christian girl core.
You know,
real quick.
We talked about this before, but like I'm so close to being a Mormon if I weren't the Belgian Jew that I am.
Yeah, you appear Mormon.
Yeah. And so it's like, oh, maybe she's kind of edgy.
It's like a rook piercing.
And
would an Amish girl have that?
But I got it done in St. Mark's too, which was pretty fun.
Did you?
And the piercer was very hot, and it was a good time. And I did it with my friend Isabel.
Right.
We
I
did
love
it
that.
together, and my old roommate from college too. But I recently had to take it out because I was doing an MRI.
You didn't put it back?
I wasn't able to do it myself.
Are you going to put it back?
Yeah, I need help.
Let's go to a piercer today and have them put it back.
Oh yeah, because I wanted to get new jewelry anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say that's my secret edgy thing.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I would say mine very clearly is my double nose ring.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I do think I am starting to reach an age where I kind of would want to take it out, but it's so part of my identity that I forget about it even being there. Like I go into professional settings all the time and I'm just like, oh my God, they're probably looking at me like I'm nuts. Like I'm like a bull. I have like so much metal in my face. And I don't even think about it. I'm like shaking hands. Nice to meet you, you know? And I'm just like, wow, they probably think I'm like trying so hard. But as someone who doesn't have tattoos and who's held out for so long, let me have this.
Yeah, I feel like that's the thing. Because we don't have tattoos,
we have to be edgy somewhere.
we don't look edgy.
And the eyeliner too.
I would also say my, right now it's winter in New York, so I'm wearing the booties. But like normally I'm like black high top Converse or Vans girly like all the time.
Up.
And I feel like the fact that I wear Converse with like skirts to fancy events is my most like elder emo.
But it's funny, like there is a type of person, I do think Converse are one of those things that's acceptable in like late adulthood, but it also is held on by the most edgy of society. Like there was this architect that I worked with in the beginning of my like corporate career, and he honestly, he was the shit. Like he had a ton of buildings that he had worked on, and he was super, super high profile. But he would walk around the office in a room full of corporate people in his Converse, and that was what made him comfortable.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I always want to be that person. I have a theory that like, I think the more successful you get, the less corporate you should dress, because it's like, I've earned the right to chill the hell out.
And I also think it's like part of your brand. Like
my personal brand?
No, it's like I'm more uncomfortable when I see people like trying too hard, but it's like you can tell when they're like the Converse they've worn their whole lives.
Yeah, that's very true.
You know,
right.
No one's questioning the authenticity here.
That's so true. Yeah. All right, so let's see. What else did we have on our list for today? I wanted to talk a little bit about, this is a good one. We both recently traveled at the same time. So it's like you traveled, I think, like you flew out like 12 hours after me.
Which was so ridiculous.
Ridiculous. This is going to be a big travel year for us as we record and we try to get to be together during this time instead of doing virtual episodes as often as possible. We're going to try to film in the studio. But on the plane, I always question, this is also kind of goes into like the night sleeper question, but like, are there people who get hot on planes?
I feel like it needs to be a graph.
Right.
There's always like before takeoff, I feel like it gets very hot.
Really?
Like, I feel like they're like switching up the ventilation for a little bit. there's always like a moment where it'll get like hot on the plane.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, I'm like the cold person. So
I'm freezing. They hand out blankets.
They hand out blankets, but I bring like a jacket knowing I can use it as like a...
Same.
I'll like take it off and then put it frontwards, you know?
Absolutely.
Like
I do the exact same. First of all, I don't ever want to touch the airplane blanket.
Oh, I don't care.
They don't clean them.
The clothes I'm wearing like on the plane are immediately going...
They're essentially lit on fire when you get home.
Yeah, so I'm like, all hell breaks loose here.
Right.
I was going to ask you, do you take your shoes off on planes?
Never. What am I, a psycho?
I
do
always
you?
do. But
What are you wearing, Tevas?
No, Converse. But I have another pair of like thicker socks that I like use for like airplane like slipper socks.
Oh no.
But I don't go to the bathroom. I don't go to the bathroom without them on.
I don't go to the bathroom on planes unless it's an absolute emergency.
I really try not to. Except like that one time I got food poisoning and like I had to go to the bathroom to evacuate.
Terrible.
It was so bad
for you.
But no, I just take them off when I'm like curling up in a ball to sleep. Okay,
I see what you're saying. I don't believe in the airplane blankets. I do bring an extra layer. But you know what I'm thinking? For how much we're paying for flights, airlines should be less cheap. I have a feeling they're just taking the freezing outside, and I have no science to back this, so correct me if I'm wrong.
Hot take.
Hot conspiracy. I think they're being cheap, and instead of actually providing air conditioning, they're just funneling in the cold air from the atmosphere outside.
Yeah, I mean, did you think it was air conditioning?
No, I didn't.
I think it's just like an air vent.
I think it's an air vent as well, and I don't like it. And it's only there, and they try to make it like, oh, you have control over it. It's like if you get hot.
No, I think it's just an air vent, and that's why it sometimes
they're
gets
being
hot.
cheap. They're being cheap.
I also think the blanket thing is like a space issue.
What do you mean?
Like,
them not washing them?
No, like they can't have like thicker blankets because they can't be like carrying on such extra load if they're having like a full cargo.
That's probably true.
You know, there's probably like, because there's like a fuck ton of people, you know.
There is, but I think about the nature of an Airbus. It's literally an Airbus. Yeah. And I'm like, there's so many people on here. We could probably pack this thing out. We could pack this thing out. When they're like, we need you to check extra bags. That's strictly a space thing. It's not a weight thing, in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know anything.
I just want to go back really quickly. How dare you think I wear Tevas on planes?
I mean, I think that you should wear Tevas on planes if you're taking your shoe off. Socks, of course, with Tevas, not like raw dogging the Teva. It's a Teva, by the way. It's pronounced Teva, but I've like trained. I cannot say Teva. I always say Teva.
I first of all would never wear Tevas with socks outside of the radius of my home.
Why?
Because like, okay, some hot girls are able to like pull off the crusty look because they're so naturally not crusty. Yeah. I'm like already so crusty that like if I do stuff like that, like people are like worried about me.
And by people you mean Robert?
Yeah, like my landlord and my roommate and my neighbors. They're like, oh boy, it's one of those weeks for her.
You gotta lean into cat lady core. It's good on this side. Judgment free.
I can't fully give in. And so I would never wear Tevas on the plane. I only wear like sneakers or I mostly just wear the pair of shoes that's the biggest.
Me too.
So.
Yeah, but I do have an airport uniform. Do you?
I have a criteria, but I usually take whatever's like available within the categories I'm trying to wear.
Oh wow. I have like a specific.
Yeah?
I have like sometimes it's switching now.
Okay.
I used to wear this, and I wore this hoodie. I wear this hoodie into the ground still. It's like a completely unmarked gray Yeezy hoodie that I bought years ago for $300. And I wear that because it's just nondescript. It's just gray. It's like you're invisible. That's how I think of it. You're like completely invisible. Gray with black leggings and either Converse or a different airport shoe, but usually my Converse. Uniform.
That's like pretty classic. It depends on the type of flight I'm taking. If I'm with my family, they're like pretty anti-leggings.
No. Does your family get dressed for the airport? You're going to make me throw up.
Yeah.
What do you...
We
what
don't
is it about landing? that you need to look
so
good?
yeah, growing up it was about landing because my grandmother is like very strict, but now she's not here anymore, so like I can wear whatever I want. But back in the day, if we were like going to visit her, because we were probably like going to go to lunch like immediately, like we had to dress kind of nice. But generally I'll wear like jeans or like black pants, or if I'm traveling like all this like New York, LA stuff that I'm doing alone, I'm just wearing leggings, and then whatever semi-dirty, like one wash away from being needs to be washed, or
because
one wear.
you know you're lighting it on fire.
Yeah,
when
exactly.
You land.
So I'm like wearing the most dirty that's not dirty shirt.
I go completely fresh.
No, I can't because I know it's gonna smell bad. But it's a shirt that I know I want to have on the trip, but that I need to clean regardless.
Yeah, I feel you. A day one shirt.
And then usually like an oversized sweater and like 8 jackets.
All right, so we talked about what you wore on the plane and what I wear on the plane. Is there a certain type of dress that you require for the subway?
It's not that you're required. It's that like you should not.
I have a recommendation.
Yeah, I have a recommendation.
If you're going to sit down.
Yeah, I hope it's the same that I'm thinking.
Yeah, I hope it is too. If you're sitting down on the train, for the love of God, if you're wearing a skirt or shorts.
Please.
If you're wearing a skirt or shorts. Only the part that's covered should be on the seat. Secondly, if you're wearing a skirt specifically, for the love of God, wear shorts under the skirt.
Oh.
Don't you goddamn dare wear a thong.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh,
Please
my
wear full
God.
underwear.
Oh my God, you're actually like a national terror threat
Yeah.
if you wear a thong and a skirt on the subway.
I mean,
And you sit.
yeah, if you sit especially.
But you also shouldn't be going to like little restaurants and sitting down like that either.
No.
I don't want to sit in your booty sweat after you get up in the summer. And there's booty sweat. It better be at least through one layer of clothing.
You need to wear full underwear. I don't care.
You have to.
I don't care if the line shows or anything. It's that was a hard lesson that I learned as a teenager in New York.
You're gonna get a yeasty boy. Keep it up.
So yeah,
too hot to be playing all that.
That's my main requirement. And like your toes should be covered, same way that they should be at the airport.
Leave the fucking toes alone. That's what I say. If you want to have your toes out, you should have them out.
I do not want to see your little piggies.
I'm pro foot. Let the feet breathe.
Not for free.
It's like before people were monetizing toes, why was it okay to wear sandals? I remember there were teachers who would wear sandals to school, and we would sit on the floor next to their feet as they read us books.
But that's where you're wrong. It's
I
never
don't think
okay.
that wasn't comfortable for me. I wasn't happy about it.
It's never okay.
But you know what? In an environment like that, you grow up and you're foot positive. You let your foot out. Why should I cover my foot for someone else? It's part of my body.
You should never be wearing sandals in New York unless
I disagree.
It's July.
I pull the Birkenstocks out May 1st. May 1st. No sock. I pull out the Doc Marten sandals May 1st. Crack of dawn.
But are your feet like polished?
Always.
I just feel like
you will never catch me with a raw foot.
There's so many like crusty feet in New York where I'm just like.
There are, but you know, God bless them. Like, let them. They deserve to breathe too. Free the toes.
Free the toes. Free the toes, but not the tuchus. Like, please.
Not the what?
The tuchus. Like, please cover your butt on the
full
subway.
underwear. Full underwear. All right, so like we talked about like exposing things on the subway, your butt, your toes. What about exposing your emotions?
On the subway?
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm not for it, but it happens all the time. Like I'm constantly crying on the subway. It's obviously not ideal.
Not ideal for who though? You or the people around you?
People around me?
I think it's ideal for you though.
Yeah, but I'm just like, I'm sorry you have to see this.
I am, but no one's really looking. Like, it's the best place to just have a breakdown, have a menty-b.
It happens to me a lot. Also because I feel like now that I've like moved away, and when I come back, like I just have like a lot of like memories when I'm on the subway, and I'm like, wow, this is like where I used to get off to go here, or like
I do too.
This is like where I used to do a lot of bad stuff.
But I never have like a nostalgic cry.
No, it'll just like prime me for feeling kind of emo, and then I'll like do something else and just start crying about something else.
You'll have a bad conversation, and then you'll get back on the train and you're like
but I'm usually like dissociated from my emotions, so the subway kind of just like gets me in my stop zone.
I also feel like there's certain songs I'll listen to on the train that I won't bump in my home.
I'll always remember, and I feel like this is the best parting thought, when Sarah was in LA and we were coming home from the studio after like 20 hours of podcast recording, and she was like, you need to turn this shit off. I cannot with the emo shit right now.
Yeah, no.
You were like, I'd rather silence than your sad girl music.
No, it's like, I would think it was like the 6th time I had heard like James Blake or something, and I was just probably
I am not listening to James Blake.
I like James Blake. I like him.
Yeah, but
I like the guy.
That's not sad girl music.
Yes, it is.
It's like a little bit more electronic.
Electronic sad girls exist too.
Yeah, but this is like a nostalgic sad girl.
All right, well, if you liked the episode, make sure to follow us at Not For Nothing Pod. I'm your host, Sarah El Sayed. You could find me at How Can I Help You?
And I'm Natasha, and you can find me at Natasha PRZ.
Thanks. See you next week.
Bye.
Thank you.